Hey kiddos, since we're learning about sharks today, have you ever wondered how is a shark able to float in the water? Did you know that all sharks, if they were to stop moving, they would sink to the bottom? Some sharks, like the great white shark, can be up to 20 feet long and weigh 2,000 pounds. And then of course there's the whale shark, which can weigh just as much as an elephant. How can something so big stay afloat in the water? Well, that's what this experiment is going to help us to discover. First of all, there are 3 things that help a shark to stay afloat in the water. Number 1 is the shark's cartilage, what its body is made of. Cartilage is actually lighter than bone, and we know that things that are lighter are able to float more easily than something that's heavy. Number 2 is the shark's fin. How it is shaped helps it to stay afloat in the water. Well, the last thing is the shark's oily liver. Did you know that sharks have oily livers? Yeah, well, that's what this experiment is going to show us. So here's what you'll need. You'll need a big tub of water. I've got Hammy, our hammerhead shark. He's observing from above. You'll need some vegetable oil, some more water, something that you can pour. I've got this measuring cup, but I'll tell you what, if you have a funnel, that would be the best thing. Mrs. Stewart does not have one here in her kitchen. I need to get one. You'll also want to have 2 balloons, and I want to show you what I did to my balloons. I took a permanent marker and I made some eyes and a mouth because the balloons are going to be our shark. And on this balloon, you'll see that I wrote the word oil, O-I-L, because we're going to be putting oil into this shark, just like a real shark has an oily liver that actually makes up 30% of its body weight. And then this shark, I made a face on him, but I just wrote the word water up at the top. I don't know if you can see that, because we're just going to put water into this shark. This shark's gonna represent a shark that wouldn't have an oily liver, and we're gonna find out what happens. So let's get started. I'm going to pour some water into this balloon, and this is going to be kind of tricky because Mrs. Stewart does not have a funnel. So I'm gonna do this over top of the water that is already in my container. It's okay if we get a little bit more water in there. Okay, so we just poured the water into the first balloon, and we want to go ahead and seal it shut. Now, here's what's really important. You want to make sure that you don't have any air in the balloon. So I'm trying to squeeze out that air and tie the balloon up, because air, if there was air in there, it would help that shark to do what? It would help it to float. Air makes something lighter, right? And we don't want to help this shark out at all. In fact, when we go to fill the other balloon with oil, we want to try to not have any air in the balloon as well. That would compromise our experiment, because then the air would make both of the sharks float. So make sure that there's no air in there. It's all sealed tight. And here we have our water shark. Now I'm going to take my other shark and I'm going to fill him with oil. Now, let me tell you something about oil. We learned a word the other day, density. And we learned that things that are more dense are going to be heavier, right? And things that are less dense are going to be lighter. Well, this oil is less dense than the water. So what do you think is going to happen? Make a prediction. If we know that this oil is less dense than the water, and we're putting oil into one shark and water into the other, which one do you think is going to float better, and which one do you think is going to sink? Okay, now I'm going to pour my oil. Ooh, and I know some oil is going into my water. That's okay. I don't want to make a mess all over my kitchen floor right now. Now this is the fun part, because my fingers are all oily and trying to tie a balloon is very tricky, but we will get it. Now, I want to show you something before we move on. Once again, you want to try to not have any air in this shark. Here's my oily shark. He's got an oily liver. He's very slippery too. I'm gonna set him on this side, and I wanna show you what happened when I poured that oil over my water. Hopefully that my phone doesn't slip out of my hands because my fingers are very slippery. Do you see that there are big spots of oil? That oil is sitting on top of the water because oil is less dense than the water. So we've got our water shark and we've got our oily shark that's got an oily liver. He's extremely slippery. And I'm going to set both of these in here and let's watch what happens, okay? They both went down. Oh, but the water shark is staying down and the oily shark is up here at the top. Check it out. There's my water shark all the way down there. And here's my oily shark. I'm going to see if I can flip him over a little bit so you can see his cute little face. Here's our oily shark. There's our oily shark. He is floating up at the top, but the water one has sunk down to the bottom. So what did we discover? We discovered that that oily liver that the shark has helps him to stay afloat. Remember, that's just one reason why he's able to float. He's also got cartilage, which is lighter than bone, so that helps him stay afloat. And then the shape of his fins helps him to not only swim, but stay afloat in the water. How cool is that? Well, I hope you had fun, and I hope you'll give this science experiment a try for yourself. Okay, see you later, kiddos.